Hello, my name is Link Abear, and today I will be presenting my Romeo and Juliet hero and villain costumes. So, for my costume project, I chose Friar Lawrence as the villain and the character of the apothecary for the hero. And here's a little bit of the reason why. I pictured Friar Lawrence as a character who was pocketing money from the citizens of Verona and using it for his own, not evil, but personal ways. That would be spending money on his own kind of things, fancy food, fancy robes. But he's a Franciscan Lauren, which are priests who swore to a humble lifestyle and wouldn't have a lot of earthly belongings. But Friar Lawrence had many, and he would hide it with a simple brown overrobe and like a white underrobe, simple. But at second glance, when you look at Friar Lawrence, you'll see there's more than meets the eye, and I'll talk about that a little bit later in the presentation. And I chose the apothecary as the hero because the apothecary comes in and he was there and he was selling potions and all kind of other elixirs to the citizens of Verona, and he was making enough money, enough for him to get by. And that's also where Friar Lawrence comes in. He comes and steals most of the apothecary business away from him, because Friar Lawrence is the one that gives Juliet the potion that makes her kind of go to sleep almost to death, but not really, just so people would think she's dead. So I pictured the apothecary as a hero because when Romeo comes out of breath, kind of, to the apothecary, I need a potion. My love, she's dead. I don't want to even be alive if she's dead. Please give me a potion. All he's hearing is, I'm from Verona. I've been seen with the friar. The friar being the person who took away the apothecary's business and livelihood. And so the apothecary gives Romeo the elixir of death, like something that would just kill someone instantly, thinking it would go to Friar Lawrence. So in this version that I'm creating costumes for, the apothecary as the hero because he thinks he's going to be killing or getting rid of Friar Lawrence, the evil, villainous character pocketing money of the innocent citizens of Verona. And so this is about the apothecary, the hero's costume. So, just going down the list, I have this yellow, cotton weave fabric as, a shawl going over the shoulders, and there's, a metal purple brooch holding it together. I think beetles, they represent mystery and just, powerful versions of nature, and so I put that there. And he has this overcoat made of the third fabric down that you can't really tell which color it is because it's stitched together of so many different types of fabric, and that's tattered. If you look around the edges of the overcoat, you see ruffles and tatteredness, and that's just from many years of wear and tear and not being able to afford a new overrobe. Across the chest going down is the purple sash made of the fourth fabric down. It's kind of a metallic-y purple, which one way looks red, one way looks purple. It's very fun. I thought that would symbolize a powerful kind of fabric because it holds potions. He puts his potion in little slots right there. I thought that would be fun. And fourth fabric down is a fabric, a stronger cotton weave that would be used to patch up the old overcoat. And second fabric down is a nude cotton material that's not very see-through, which would have been used for his just clothes underneath. So I chose the nude color because that's the color that they could afford back then in the late 1500s, late Renaissance area. And the overcoat, it's just because I feel like he would have gotten all kinds of different fabrics and just worn what he could have. And that's how I envision the apothecary as the hero, a humble man, just trying to get by with what he can do, you know? Here I have research for the apothecary. I have some elixir boxes just to inspire me, which apothecaries are mysterious type people who would just use herbs and make all kind of fixtures that people didn't know how they would do it, but they would fix people up. And just some old, like, bearded, mysterious people. And I have a version of what the overcoat would have looked like, just unbuttoned, and just what fancy people would have worn, because he did come from a fancier background, I envisioned, before he got all of his business taken away by the evil friar. And then we have Friar Lawrence as the villain. And so, as I said before, he has the simple Franciscan brown overrobe thing that falls into a cape, which the cape also kind of leads in you to believe that he might be kind of off, because capes and men in capes just, if you're not a superhero, which he's definitely not, kind of villainous. And then the simple white underrobe, and the white symbolizes innocence, and you look at him and you think, oh, he's just a normal friar. But look a little closer and you'll see his sleeves have lace on them, like collars on it. And he has a large frocking collar. And what's that? It's nobleman clothes. See, this friar was pocketing money, and he couldn't go a second without wearing clothes that would make him seem more than he actually is. So underneath his Franciscan robes, he wears nobleman clothes, and those sleeves with the purple stripes poking out was typical of the late 1500s. And he has the purple poking up over the shoulders too. The overcollar right there also leads you to see him as kind of a villainous character. And so the brown, I had a simple cotton, kind of burlappy substance. It would be humble, but not really humble. And then the white cotton would have been used as a simple overrobe. And then the third one down is the purple that would be used for the nobleman stripes coming out of the clothes. Because purple symbolizes royalty, and he always wants to be royalty, and he has enough money that he can probably be royalty. Because he's pocketing all of Verona's money. Friar Lawrence, not a good man in my version, in my book. And so here are some research pictures for Friar Lawrence. I have some what I wanted the clothes to look like in the corner, and then some pictures of old sketches, what they would have worn back then. I took the overrobe from one of those Franciscan, the friar doing that. And then I have a picture of like where he would have like stayed, like where his church would have been or something. Just like a courtyard, and you can look into it. Evil people like to spy, let me tell you. And then I have the menu, and so I saw these two characters eating, and I would imagine Friar Lawrence would invite the apothecary to a meal, because I feel like the apothecary, being smart in his ways, would realize Friar Lawrence for what he was doing, because he did steal the apothecary's business. And so the apothecary would have been about to announce to the city of Verona that the friar was pocketing all the money. So Friar Lawrence invites the apothecary over for a simple meal and thinks he can lavish the apothecary man over. And so they have an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. And so the appetizer is oyster, which would have been very expensive back then, and oysters are a food known to produce pearls, and so that was even more telling of what the friar wanted to give the apothecary, but not really. The entree was a roast, and I put pig, cow, horse, whichever you like, because I imagine the friar would have any kind of that, whichever the apothecary wants, because he wants to keep the apothecary quiet. And for dessert, I found this old Italian recipe, which was fruit mashed together, and it was called catagna. Please excuse my Italian. And I just had a side of red wine with that, because as a friar he would have had red wine to use in the mass or something. And so that was my menu, between foes. A meal between foes, let me tell you. There, I told you. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much and have a spectacular day.